Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant. Break up 7 seals. That verse that's cited clearly applies to them. Clearly. But see, daylight means nothing to a blind person. Daylight means nothing to a blind person. And the situation right now is we're in the emotional realm, so logic means nothing to emotional people. You try to talk to someone that's really angry and fighting, they ain't hearing anything. Try to calm them down and everything. Right? They're sitting because you're in an emotional plane, and that's why the problem is so difficult, because he said, Son of Man, the Lamb, he'd have the worst, hardest problem. Because remember, he's got to deal in a time of unprecedented trouble. That means his time ministry is the worst ever. Because he had unprecedented means to resist to be unprecedented. I mean, problem Muhammad had to deal with nuclear bombs and radiation and biological warfare and media. All those things had to do with that. Elijah didn't have to deal with a lot of that either. But Elijah had to take on America and go to battle with it. He didn't have to defeat it, just go to war with it. By Muhammad, he had to go to war with Asia. That was it. And defeat. That was it. That was his realm. But it said, Suleiman, he has to go to battle with the entire world in the worst time in history and defeat it. And so he would walk alone. You see anybody helping? If anything, it hurt because no one had that kind of pressure on him. And then you got to deal with people. You got to push. I mean, who needs that? I said, cut that tree down because that's just too much. It's almost, well, that's a lot. Well, I don't know how to put it, brothers and sisters, because I can't explain it to you. I didn't ask for it. See? Because it said what? It said the Christ suffered the sins of the world. What sin is, it's opposition. So the whole world. Yeah, overcome the 10 horns. Overcome it all. And you don't see it anywhere you get any help. Except for Michael. I ain't asked for this, but I'm not complaining. I ain't asked for it. I'm glad to give it to someone else if someone could handle it. I had no idea what I'd get myself into. Right? But anyway, that's the case. And like I said, you're dealing with, like I said, dead people. That's what I say dead, because if you move some that's dead, bring it back alive. But that's what he has to do. So why do you need people that's getting in the way? taking up his energy and doing nothing with it. But these people here, I can't. I really so much I could say about this, but he wouldn't understand it because they don't get the full brunt of the wrath. I said most severe chastisement. Hmm? To go under. In other words, to go under supreme pressure, you have to be able to, right? That means you got to absorb all that pressure. You got to transform that pressure or to be crushed by it. But that means you become as powerful as the pressure that's transforming you. So now anybody that gets in the way of that pressure gets crushed to unprecedented levels. I, I can't explain to you, brothers and sisters. You know, one time, I was naive enough to think that when I first, got into engine, I was naive to think that, man, people glad to hear this. Whoa, that's stupid. Oh, I was like I was out there speaking French, man, and to not just people that don't speak French, but speak French to a bunch of rappers or something. You know, it's just because I've never been able to speak to Angel with anyone in 35 years. I speak on a certain level. I can't speak to anyone. No one, I can't speak to anybody in mathematics. Because on mathematics, I can't go there. I touch a little bit here and there, but nobody understands it. I encourage people to go in. Them, ain't interested, man. I ain't interested in no math. I study vectors. That's the problem. Move on, Brown Cisco. Like I said, I had a lot of attempts these days. I should have been doing this 2 hours ago. So I guess I'm bringing two parts again. And the thing is, see, I have so much technical issues every day. I mean, it gets worse all the time, actually. But see, it really doesn't bother me because the way I look at it is that the more technical issues I'm having, that means that's the greater effect I'm having. So that's pushback. And so the harder they push back, that means that the more they're being hurt. And that's to your advantage too, to some extent, right? Because if they're using all this pressure to stop me, that's less pressure they have to stop you. More energy to stop me. It talks about that in scripture, but I don't want to make yourself what do you say? Offering for sin. If you haven't understood what's going on here, brothers and sisters. Something like a lightning rod. I draw the lightning. If I draw lightning, then it's not on you. Whether you appreciate it or not. I'm like a lightning rod. And a lot of things you see right now. You see the so-called pause over there in the Middle East. So you understand that. Because if you understand the scripture, they tell you. They study the scripture. Herod, he knew what scripture was. He knew Jesus was going to be born and everything else. He studied. And so they hesitant. Because they know what I'm saying, and they see what's going on over there. And like they kind of nervous. They make this move or not. So you don't put this whole picture together. If they're looking at this and they see my track record, what would you do? And maybe I shouldn't make that move, man. But they're just going to be made. They can't stop it. But that'd be a part of the dynamics. And like I this thing on Farra-Con today, right? If you listen to that thing today, he talking about the 911 boy. And it's amazing because it's amazing. If you wasn't in emotions on you, you'd say, man, our country, they're doing this to us. and see what he's saying is right for him. Because remember, he thinks like a devil. A wolf in sheep clothing is still going to think like a wolf. He ain't going to think like a sheep. He might look like one, might act like one, but he's still not going to sound like one, and he's not going to think like one. And everything he says, and that whole thing he says, I'm American. Everything he said. But they put Elijah on covering, he put cover himself in Elijah. Sheep wolf clothing. He's a wolf all the way. And the thing is that our people, because they're still in the emotional zone, they buy this stuff because they don't hear what he's saying. You don't hear what he's saying. They feel what he's saying. Difference. See, I used to talk about this a long time ago, so let me think about it. It might not be true, but since I got the injury, I used to say, you gotta watch out for devils, right? Because devils are something. They can come out and tell you they're gonna kill you. And don't be emotional about it. Because you know how we animated, just come and say, oh, I'm gonna kill you. And and they be deadly serious. You don't take it serious because they said such a calm voice because that's their nature. Killing is no big deal for them. But see, we missed the point there. Okay. And so, but they're on the emotional plane. They may say it like that, right? But that gets a little deeper into. And the point is that they don't hear Farra-Con, they feel him. Like the way he look, way he talk. Like everybody else likes him. As I go, hey man, everybody don't I don't like him either because I don't want to be outsider. I don't want to stand out. Even if I don't like him, all right, yeah, I'm down with that because you something you know what? And that was the problem I had growing up because I didn't care about. I don't know. I was just me. And so I was in fights all the time because I didn't go along to, I want to get my hair processed. I didn't want to do that stuff. I didn't even talk like they talk. I didn't talk that slang talk. I couldn't get into it. I said, I mean, it was cool, it's slick, right? But you can't think mathematically with that stuff. Anyway, move on. So I'm gonna have to do this part two or three because I can't. There's no way I can finish this day. Like I said, I should start 2 hours ago. I had one problem after another. Okay, listen to these couple of things, brothers and sisters.
And whether you like it or not, the new ruler is black. He have hair like lamb's wool, and he has feet like burnished brass.
Now, if you watch Farra-Con, right, he's a performer, right? Because what he says, because he's been telling you for years, that's for Muhammad, the son of man. He's the son of man sometimes. The description he gave you doesn't fit either one of them. Because it doesn't matter what he says. They ain't hearing him. They feel him. I feel you. Do you feel me? You see those words, you think they don't mean anything. It may not mean anything, right? But somehow it comes from the spirit of things, right? You feel me? Say less. You don't need to say anything. You see what I'm saying? I hear you. I feel you. And I ain't by feeling me. If you understand, if you don't connect on the mental level, then you can't connect at all. 'Cause you have to go get away. Let's look a little further.
So long till they don't know the birth record. So they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time. He'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. You don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this. Anyway, it's deep. It's a big subject. I want to say to my Muslim brothers, when I was in Mecca, I was there for 3 days.
Yeah, it's deep, all right. Deep shit. None he said makes any sense whatsoever. None. Zero. Then he do the performance. Do the dance, the performance. Right? That doesn't make any sense. In fact, the lesson says, who's the original man? Talking about us, right? Maker, owner, creator, planet, earth, God, universe. So that's flesh. We're all flesh, ain't we? With God, universe. So if we've got a universe, then who's God above us? Makes no sense. He says, absolutely make no sense. And then he says, we can't worship. He said, Master Muhammad prays. Well, if he's the God who he's prayed to. See? Because like Muhammad said, God is a man, period. And look at Hebrews 7. It tells you clearly, Melchizedek's a man. He's the God. He has no birth record, no beginning or end. But he said, no. So he's calling it, he's destroying everything Elijah said, but everybody, but he claimed this because they don't care. Because it ain't logic. He's doing a performance, and they like you perform. You know? It's like, you go to some of these, whatever, the entertainment concerts, whatever you call them, right? And the guy's up there, man, you bitch, yo. I mean, he keep calling off, and the sister's just rocking. Because they don't care what he's saying. It's like the feel of the music. And devils know that. That's about us particularly. Because that's what they did the rap industry. When the rap first came out, they tried to be, intellectual. Sister Soldier, Tupac. I'm not sure about Biggie, right? But they, and then Foster's got hold to it. They interjected the, oh, you nigga, oh, yeah, bitch. And now it's because they knew that you wasn't paying attention to words, you gonna rock with the beat. And that's what they've been giving you, the beat. The news media and everything is getting a beat. See? They put people there they know you're going to like. All the pretty girls, they think they're pretty. I don't think, I tell you, they think they're pretty blonde, like they don't look pretty to me. But maybe something wrong with me, right? These sisters, why would I want the artificial when the real deal is there, right? That's what it is. And most you rock to the beat. Because you would follow, if you were intellectual, you would follow Farra-Con for a second, but not 1 second. Because you rock to the beat. You know it. Because if you talk to them, they can answer any of those questions. They can answer any question. If you ask them, they can't. You start. If that's why he doesn't question. He doesn't do Q&A. Doesn't do Q&A. Because Q&A was about collective intellectual. Taking to the intellectual level, you got to explain it. See, when you got to explain and all that kind of stuff, that's above the emotional level. Emotional level, you ain't got to explain anything. It's how you feel. That tastes good, yeah. No matter what's good for you or not, it tastes good, man. When emotional plane, anything goes. It's just how you feel about it, how you feel. If you feel good that day, everything's cool. If you're upset, everything is bad. It's the weather. On the emotional plane, you're the weather. It's just how you feel with me, how you wake up and how you feel about this, how you feel about that. That's why all these marriages end up in divorce so much. Because you're about how you feel. I don't like him. One day you like him, next day I don't like him. Well, I used to like you. And 9% of divorces is not because of the other person, it's because of you. You just don't feel good, so now you blame the other person. I've been there. Like so I had a demon wife, and her idea was I supposed to make her feel good. That ain't the way it works. You make yourself feel good, and then you share that with other people. The woman told me, I pray for you. I said, don't pray for me. I said, you pray for yourself, and I pray for me that I know I get prayed for. I don't know, it's insane. And they say stuff, they say anything. This dummy here, he's going to tell you what God does, what God will do. You can't, you need to shut that up. You don't know what God will do. God do what he wants to do. They got the stupid ideas. Well, God can't lie. Why can't he? If he wants to. He gave you the sealed Bible, right? That supports a liar and a murderer on it. Adam. Unless you got the seal, everything is wrong. Everything in the sealed Bible is wrong if you don't have the seal. You can't break the seals. They got us being the worst thing on the planet. Is that true? That's what it says. If you don't have that's what it says. That's where Adam reads it. And that's what it says to him. And that's the book he was given for guidance. So is that a lie? Once you got sitting there, oh, then you know what it really means. But for Adam, that's what it meant. That's why he was able to do all the stuff he was able to do. Because he had a book, right? That said those things. They was all lies. But not really lies, were they? Because if the only lies, if you, well, put it this way, you got something and it's sealed up, right? Now you know it's sealed, so you know what's on the surface is not right. Because you got to get the break the seals and understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? I get an illusion here. So if you take that as the truth, right? Then it's a lie. And if I get confused, let me say it another way. Here it is. You got this book, and you need this seal to show what it means. So they know. So they look at it and say, "Oh, I don't know what this means. I'm going to go with that. It doesn't mean what it say it means. You know, it doesn't mean what it says it means." Because you need a seal to break it. But if you go with it, See? And they was told that book was sealed. They was told it was sealed, but they went with it anyway, so it's a lie. They knew it. The book says it's sealed. That means you don't know what it means. So you kept going with it anyway, that means you're lying. The book's a lie. You made the book a lie. But you was allowed to make it a lie because that's the book you was given. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. Okay. You're going to wake up in a minute because, like I said, you don't understand anything. The Quran says, many leads right by it, many leads never by it, many leads right by it. Wait a minute. Let me get the exact quote. He said, many leads in error by it, many leads right by it. Many leads in error by it. So if he leaves you in error by it, was that the truth? Many leads in error by it, and many leads right by it. So he's leading you in error. Make him shed blood. You put a thief and a liar in charge, and you tell an angel to God submit to him. So you don't know a goddamn thing. You're saying stuff. And he gonna tell God says you can't do. He don't have a goddamn idea what God says. Nothing. Zero. You need to shut up. And because he's talking, he's destroying himself. They're actually destroying themselves. Now, during the winter, that was fine. But spring is coming now. So if you're a snowman, how do you think you're gonna survive when spring comes? You're a snowman. They're all snowmen. They're all snowmen. They was bright nice and pretty in the winter, hanging there, right? They were snowmen. But now the spring is coming. So what's gonna happen to them? They're all snowmen. Snowman's great in the winter. They're all snowmen. And it's the information in the winter is of no value in the summer, in the spring. So you follow, it's a lie. Oh, okay, you got the winter book, and turn everybody in the spring, here's the book. You got to go with the book is a lie, because it will not help you in the spring. It's a lie. If you think it's the book for the spring, it's a lie. I ain't saying God's a liar. I'm not saying that. There's difference between telling a lie, right, and being a liar. Because when you're in combat, you don't tell it. You know, there's one place in the Quran that says that there was a war going on, right? And it says it was revealed by Allah to the soldiers. They made it think there was only a few soldiers out there. It was a lot. So why would he make them think other than what the case was? He said the reason he did it to build their confidence. So that make him a liar? He said he did it to make their confidence, build their confidence. If he drowned all the people in Noah, all the babies, they didn't do anything. Would that make him a murderer? Noah's flood, he drowned everybody that went on that ark. Babies and everything else. That make him a murderer? See, they got your mind so messed up. And the bottom line is, who is lying? That's us. Do we lie? Can we lie? Can we kill? We are Allah, the maker on the creator planets, God, the universe. Can we lie? So how the hell? Look, I'm gonna get back to the F word out there. He needs to shut the F up, and they're gonna pay the consequence for that. Because if you understand what Elijah said, what we doing? Anything we want to do? You see what we've been doing. We're doing anything we want to do. There's no restraints on us. There ain't no mystery God there doing this. We doing it. We can kill, we can lie, we do anything, we do it. We do it all the time. If we the God, you never told a lie, you the God, ain't you? Don't make us liars. That's not our nature. But we submit to a liar. So if you submit to a liar, then you're going to be telling lies. Let me move on, brothers and sisters.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagler as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day.
Sick. Elijah Muhammad have a stroke if he saw that. Now get back to that God thing, you know what I mean? See, I would read the backstory, read behind the line, because he thought that we was the maker, owner, and cream of planet Earth. He'd be talking about what God could do, this God, because he just, he don't see us as the God. He sees some spooky mystery God somewhere. Because how does that make any sense? What God can do is you pray to God. Wait a minute, hold it. I thought we was the God. If you believe that, you have your whole conversation be different. I ain't tell anybody to pray to anybody. I'm trying to lift you up to who you are. I told you, when you understand prayer is just a holdover from the way we used to be. We used to tune in. So if you wanted to tune into the God, which we're gods, he's the God, he's the top God, right? But you didn't pray to him. I mean, okay. See, it's kind of complicated because the way you guys consider the season. Now, if we could tune in right now, then what happened is we send a signal, hey, we're in trouble. When we get home, we won't have that problem. We'll be tuning on that level. No problem. See? Because we won't need cell phones and stuff. Hey, hey, man, come over for dinner or something. So if we could do it right now, that'd be everybody's connected. Okay? And that's what the Quran, we call it recital. They don't understand what the Quran is for. Recital. And it actually says it. It says reciting the Quran. It's called prayer. It says right in the Quran. Reciting the Quran is prayer. See, they don't miss that. Say praying some mystery God. And then to have faith. And what's that faith thing about? See, all this stuff just fall apart. Because if you're Buddhist, they try to have faith too. If you're Hindu, try to have faith. So what faith is the right faith? Just having faith. So why would you, what's the point of having, I mean, in fact, first of all, if I was on that level of having faith, it sure wouldn't be in Christianity. You have 400 years of faith in that shit. You see what it done for me? You see what I'm saying? It's just all this stuff just falls apart. But if you're on an emotional level, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make you feel good. Like what was that guy's name? The guy played in Boys in the Hood. What was his name? Gooding. Went to Farra-Con and say, you wanted to marry a devil, right? Or whatever. Oh, love is love. That's Farra-Con. So love is love. That's how he stay. He wants to stay friends with those folks over there. So he's gonna tell them what they want to hear. Because he ain't gonna tell them something bad. Because they put the word out on Farra-Con, and he's toast. Every time you see him in the meeting and stuff, he never say anything that's gonna offend anybody. But the message offends people all the time. Who is offended? People that's his enemies. The Prophet Muhammad defended people all the time too. His enemies, the enemies of the truth. I'm probably the most offensive person ever lived. I'm offending everybody, the whole damn world. Because that's the enemy. So you want to go, if you want to go with Dr. Feelgood, you hang with Dr. Feelgood. Because fire's on the emotional level too. Fire's on the emotional level too. A lot of fire on the emotional level. You know, people on the emotional level. So you see, look at these guys like Michael Jackson and what's his name? Prince and all those ones, right? So all that money and everything was right, but they didn't feel good. So they took drugs and killed themselves. On an emotional level. And a lot of people on an emotional level. They've been pushed there. It's not their fault. They're pushed there. But now it's time to rise up. And that's a test for you too. I tell you about purging, but I don't want to go into too much detail. But the problem is that's one of the things, because we want to get rid of the weak links of us. And that's part of this here, because some of us is going to take and turn to diamonds, some of us are going to crush. The weak ones are going to crush. Because we want to go and we have a perfect kingdom. So it's like a magnet. A magnet pull the weaker ones. And that's what the devil's is. The devil's pulling all the wicked here. He's putting all the demons here. They attract me. They don't understand it. I keep saying, why are these students coming over here? If they don't understand the crown, why in the hell are they come over here? They come here as destruction. And we're here, so we leave the weak ones behind us. Someone's going to escape through, and we get them, we get home. Everlasting shame and appallment. But those are the only ones, who they? They're the ones that's like us. It's got owned by the devil. I explained all of that. It says purify. It means you get rid of the impure. Move on, bro. Since I'm not gonna get anywhere near finish this today. Okay, I missed. Okay, I talk about these dates. I'm not gonna talk about it right now. I'm gonna move on, bro. Sisters. I'm gonna get to the other. Now watch this. See, what does this mean, brothers and sisters? That's what I'm telling you. It's by degrees. Keep preaching, keep getting information out, and slowly your mind, bit by bit, to a complete circle. And said 2025, now finally, mind comes together. Okay. Little here, keep on. See? That's the way it works, brothers and sisters. So the war for wind is blowing, this war right now, all this stuff's happening, we're in the season right now, all these things going to happen. That's why it's going to be so dramatic. Because so much things going to happen here. That's the pause before the storm. All this stuff we've been talking about going to take place right here. It says all these things, right? It says the destruction comes suddenly. It says in one day, right? We're going to suddenly rise, right? See? Plague suddenly, all these things suddenly come to their mind. This is a period of time between now and December. They're already telling you, they telling you in World War III, which in many is, but World War III is, that's at least their worries. The apocalypse is the real deal. But everything is on the edge right now. Everything on the edge. You got the Ukraine, right? That's going to turn into Armageddon. That's not Armageddon. Because it's going to be triggered by the Middle East. That's going to kick off Armageddon. Right? Praying for war with China. China's getting stronger and stronger. America's dollar's in trouble because you don't understand. I'll try to explain how the dollar works. If they give us the dollar standard, that's going to cause economic collapse that you couldn't imagine in this country. I try to explain what dollars what really mean. It's money is a trick. It's an illusion. They get ready to destroy the illusion. Say you're an illusion that you. Say you're dreaming, you're dreaming, right? Say you're in prison, but you dream this great dream. Oh man, you in paradise, everything is great. And so you're so happy. Then you wake up, you're in prison on death row. And that's what's happening. They got this big illusion going, and you wrapped up in it. And when they get ready, all these different things, America's on attack in every area, religiously. What's going on over there? That morally, this is all everybody. This even the Roxbury crowd. This thing over there in Gaza, right? That's morally bankrupt. How can you support something like that? Politically, this whole thing going on with Trump and this Epstein thing and everything else. Economically, he's want to war with everybody with these tariffs. Religiously, it's on a total attack. And Trump said he's gonna save, but he ain't saved anybody. He ain't saved anything. Everything is falling apart. Everything's on edge right now. Everything. Your question is, if you the ability to have a question, is if you're teetering on the edge of a cliff, there's only one or two things that happen. Either you fall off or you fall back. And right now, don't let that falling back. So one thing's happening. The wind blows, you got to go one direction or the other. The wind's blowing. You're right on that corner, teetering. Right? You can't stay there. You're going to fall off. That's where America is right now. The slightest little thing, because right now, everybody's going to go the dollar standard. That's going to cause economic collapse. And everybody's jumping American bonds and stuff. That means they're not buying their debt anymore. And you know how it's going to impact you? And they're desperate because you know if that happens, it's going to come here like a whirlwind. And everybody's against America now. How do you know everybody's against America? Because America's fighting everybody. See, you got to read the backstory. Everybody's against America. I got terrorists and everybody. Because you're in trouble. And so you're fighting everybody out there. And that means they remember, if you fight everybody, it means fighting you. So if you mess around and slip, they're going to kick your ass. Americans make everybody, even their friends, upset. So if America slips and falls, what you think they're going to do? Everybody goes, let's help them up. No. They said their foot going to slip, and said when their foot slips, that's it. Because right now, everybody's against America. Because America's against everybody. You don't have to say everybody against America. Just see, America is against everybody. Their own friends, Canada, Europe, everybody. Why? They're in trouble. So you don't have to say they're against America. If you push somebody, you know they're going to be pushing back unless they just want to die. You don't have to see them pushing back. Or you have to see that you're pushing them. So you have to see they're pushing back. You know they got pushing. And everybody's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Look at what China is right now. Look how strong India is right now. And then they got their citizens all in this country whose mindset is towards India and China. So when the deal goes down, we think they're going to do. Talking about diversity. America's pushing everybody. Every action is an opposite reaction. So if they pushing, that means people pushing back. So America slip. What you think you're going to do? I'm closing in. And you said he was Farra-Con. We're going to hold on to America. We're going to fight for America and get your dumb ass crushed. Listen to that fool. But if you stay here, listen, go on. Because I'm just giving information, brothers and sisters. I'm not here to save you. Unless you want to be saved, I can get information to be saved, but you have to save yourself. I just give information. That's up to you. And you want to listen to that crap they saying? Come on. If you're on an emotional level, yeah, well, Lord, they will keep you mesmerized. That's the whole thing about movies, videos, games, NFL sports. They got everything. Keep you mesmerized, keep you in an emotional level until it's too damn late. Let's play this, brothers and sisters.
In 1934, due to arrests and In 1934, due to arrests and harassment from the police, Master Farad disappears, leaving the religious group in the hands of Elijah Muhammad, formerly known as Elijah Poole. In 1952, Malcolm X, formerly known as Malcolm Little, is paroled from prison and made assistant minister of Temple No. 1 in Detroit. Malcolm X had joined the Nation of Islam while he was incarcerated. In 1955, Louis Farra-Con, formerly known as Louis Eugene Walcott, joined the Nation of Islam. Within 1 year of joining, he was appointed to assistant minister, and Malcolm X became his mentor. On March 8, 1964, Malcolm X announced he was splitting from the Nation of Islam. On March 5, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated. On February 25, 1975, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad died, and his son Wallace Muhammad assumed leadership of the Nation of Islam. Wallace Muhammad would later change his name to Imam Warith Muhammad. Imam Warith Muhammad denounced his father's teachings, changed the name of the organization, and sold off many of its business interests. On November 8, 1977, Louis Farra-Con split from Imam Warith Muhammad to reestablish the Nation of Islam under its previous teachings. Now that you have a very high-level view of the
Now, see, brothers and sisters, there's a question right there, but they're not paying attention to this stuff. You just said, he says, Wallace got rid of the Nation of Islam, liquidated his assets. This woman, she explained the whole thing, right? I don't know her. Because that's what happened. She's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. Got rid of all his assets, right? And got rid of it, got rid of Elijah Muhammad's teachings. But the question is, it says Farra-Con didn't break away from him, but 3 years later. 3 years later, Farra-Con broke away from him. But Farra-Con admits that that Wallace was doing all this stuff. He turned against his father. He was changed. He got rid of the nation. He ripped off the nation. He took all the money and said people went crazy. You know, we got Farra-Con selling stuff. People went crazy and they went back to their old ways and everything else. He said because that's what Wallace says. That's what Wallace. But why was you with him for 3 years? That means you was a part of it, and you was his top minister. So that means you was a part of it. People ask that question. That means you betrayed the believers too. And the only reason why you was there, one of the reasons, because they got hold of the money. Remember, he got hold of the money. That's why they wanted to get hold of that money. Went to court and got that money. They told you to give you a piece of. They gave you nothing. That's why he said you was broke. You have nothing. That's why he tried to get back on the stage. Why don't you ask those questions? Because you was with 100%. But you thought you was gonna get paid and you didn't. Because they punked your ass. Because you're a damn coward. And they punked you. Because you was supposed to be the leader. You claim, oh, I'm love Allah. Why did Allah pick me? And I love black people. Okay, when Elijah Muhammad departed, you was the main man. How come you didn't step up? Wallace was officially out of the nation. He wasn't even a full. He wasn't even a accepted member. He was out. Totally, Elijah Muhammad put him out. I was there. So how the hell he come back in and take charge? Because they punk your weak ass, and you sold out to believe. You sold them out, like you're selling out right now. Well, if he says he knows Wallace was betraying. Remember, they got rid of all that stuff. They got started Belialians when they had the interview with him with that person. They already got rid of NOI. Anything called Belialian. He was still with them. Ask up that question. He went out there. He had nothing, and that Bernard Kushmir got a hold to him. Right, because he was pissed off too, because he couldn't get anything out. He couldn't make that money Wallace either, and that's why he came out. Man, we can rip off, and that's what he's been doing. He's multi-millionaire. Him and his son, his dumb ass son. We don't have any business anything. Native Islam. He hasn't rebuilt Native Islam. He has not done it. Show me. He got some little old. I mean, I've been out there. He hasn't rebuilt anything. He rebuilt his health, his pocket. There was a study group in Tampa when I was in Tampa, right? That was a kindergarten that somebody let him use at night for their class. And you go in there, and you better be weigh 100 pounds, because if you sit in one of those little baby seats, you couldn't get out of it. And all that's what they say was doing training. They wasn't doing any of that stuff. You talking about Sunday. You get in there, through classroom like, and they get some lesson that Farra-Con wrote or something, and they pass around everybody. It's like indoctrination, and you got to read this chapter. Next person read the next chapter, some crap Farra-Con, and then and I was there. I went over in there, right, and I remember, of course, came one time because they don't do Q&A, but so he actually said it. Because it was in his lesson or whatever. We can't do what they did to us. We can't. He always defending devils. We're going to say it in a minute. He always defending devils all the time. See? He defended them all the time. Why? See? But we even wicked. And then he says, when Muslim was alive, we had to, yeah. And you got rid of it. What about that part? You and Wallace got rid of it. When the Muslim was alive, we had this. Muslim was alive, yeah, because you killed him. And that's what Angel tells you. You put the nation. That's why I put the NOI with death, because you killed him. That's why all the people picked up on that. And now you're going to accuse him? Come on, brothers and sisters. I said the fruitless tree. Let me show you something here, brothers and sisters. See, this is what we reduced to because energy levels dropped down to, and so mentally, we was deficient energy deprivation, deficient mentally, physically, economically, in every respect. till we get down to emotional level. That's the most fundamental level of a human being, emotional level. All the animals deal on emotion. So when you get to the emotional level, you're on the animal level. See? We're on emotional level. All the animals on emotional level, not an intellectual level. Just the emotional level. That's the lowest level we could be. You see? And that's when devils, they was created on the emotional level, making me shed blood. We got the emotional level. I don't go into evolution, how that kind of stuff works and everything else. But like I said, everything that you see out there, everything came from us, as the Quran said, from one being, all life came. So all the attributes of everything out there is in us. We can turn those genes on. We have the full gene set, A to Z. The animals have some subset of it. Like the gorilla may have from A to Y. Right? The devils may have A to, no, gorilla may have A to T. The devil's got like A to Y. They don't have the C. Right? And they keep, once you don't have it, you can't get it again. So we have them all. We have them all turned off. Right? Except the Z. So that's why when as the universe start contracting again, right, we're going to have reverse evolution. Because everything, like I said, everything came from Allah and everything returned back to Allah. That's what they're saying. We the Allah. So it comes from us. We have to have the full gene set to bring it back into us, to turn those things back on. So eventually there won't be any gender again. Until we get back to the original state and then we start all over again. Just open and close forever. You understand? But they're a subset of us. So we got down to that level, down to the emotional level. And so the intellectual level was turned off. That's why they couldn't touch the angel. Because it's the intellectual level. And they fundamentally on the emotional level. Or they have some intellect, but like I said, it's on the emotion, they rule emotionally. That's why their government is democracy. The government is an emotional level. By definition, because the body tells the mind what to do. The people say that's the emotional level. We don't have that. We have kings, and that's what, because everybody's a body. So you want the brain to rule. You want the brain to rule. That's why we have kings. They say, oh, that's tyranny. Okay. See, that's how stupid they are, because the Jesus they tell you about is dictator. He ain't voting, and he tell you what to do. If you don't, put your ass in hell. See, so they're confused. They tell you, well, dictator is no good, and all this kind of stuff. Yet the person they tell you is God, he's a dictator. And if you don't do it, he ain't gonna vote. He's gonna be king forever. You can't vote for him, and you don't do what he tell you to do. Absolutely, without question, he burn your ass up in hell. So why you love democracy so much when you hate dictators when you claim your God's a dictator? See, that makes no sense because on an emotional level. That's why we have a God, right? We're all gods, but I'm talking administrative gods. That's why you have different titles. See? And you have the high priest. Each one has a different function. So if your arm, you have a brain cell, your arm cell, a foot cell, you fit into the body, and you're happy wherever you are. And we happy you being what you are. And we respect you. We respect the foot cell just as much as we respect the hand cell. Because I tell you, foot cells are hurting the hand. Everybody hurts. Hope you understand that. So we reduce down to that level, but we still have our nature, we just reduce. But that's the actual nature on that level. That's the actual nature on that level. The cross, that's the actual level. But we just reduce that level. Hope you understand that, brother and sister. That's what happens. See, we rise up stronger than we went down. Because now we rise back up intellectual level, and we let the devil's under our feet. See, this is where let's back up here previous, in case you didn't pay attention. That's where we go. See, was just here in, but now we become the whole thing. See, was on this level, our nation on this level, right? Then the universe started contracting. We go, and we got less energy too. We have, boom. But we come back strong because it's all us, 100%. Mm-hmm. And those of you who refuse to move up to and move out of the emotional zone to the intellectual zone, then you're gonna be around the devils. Every last shade of the pump, you're gonna be in that level. Now, if you're gonna be over, and you're not gonna be able to rise up once you because like I say, Elijah Muhammad said, you'll be prevented because they're gonna put a tattoo on you. A tyrant, tattoo on you. Okay? And going to tattoo all your descendants after you, all your seed. That's what we want, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna have to close up much earlier. Hopefully I'll have a good day tomorrow. Oh boy, yeah. No. Good days, brothers and sisters. I haven't had a good day for 100 years. That's why I'm saying good morning stuff. See, that good morning stuff, that wasn't the way they greeted themselves. That was a mental test for you. And good morning, hey, good morning, man. Yeah, because you better respond that way. It was just a test to make sure you were still under control. Because see, they still have us under control right now. We're all still under their control. I'm under their control as long as I'm here. I know how to get the hell out of here. I'm here for you. I know how to get out of here and where to go. I'm here for you. And I ain't asked for anything. I've been 35 years of my life to get this information to you. That's what the God wants. That's I'm doing it. That's what Master Muhammad wants. That's what I'm doing. I ain't asked for anything. Why is Farra-Con asking for doing? Why is he asking for money? Why is Silas asking? Why he's asking for money? Because they don't know shit. And what you paying them for nothing? Because they can't. What they have is of no value. And Silas said he asked for reparations. Why you want reparations? I mean, how can these people pay reparations anyway? Do you think this shit through? How can they? First of all, what they got is stolen. You want stolen money? Everything the devil's got is blood money. So you want that? It's not theirs anyway. And then you say you righteous and you good and everything else. So say, for instance, they gave you Dakota, or they gave you California, then they gave Texas. Where they gave it to you? Then Cherokees and Geronimo and Cherokees and Apaches come and say, hey, bro, that's our land there. Can we have it back? What you gonna say then? You think that through? Because you're such good and you do all the right things and you don't take anything from anybody that don't belong to you. So it belongs to them and now you have possession of it. So somebody steal a car and now somebody steal a car and you got possession of the car, they give it to you. Then the person that owned the car comes along. You're going to say, hey man, no, I'm keeping the car? No. If you're a good person, you're going to give them their car, ain't you? Because everything they got is stolen. So they give you those 6 states, then they come and say, hey bro, Assalamu alaikum, bro. You got our states. Can we have them back? What you gonna say then? You think this stuff through? No, you don't think at all. It sounds good. I'm gonna get 6 states, and you couldn't take care of them anyway. If Farra-Con's gonna give you 6 states, how come you're not preparing you for it? And I played that video. I'm gonna do another backup on it, the one I showed today about him 911. Just listen to him. Just listen to him. He's loving up on America. Yeah, the American license said place can be destroyed. Oh no, we got to protect it. And they do evil stuff to us. Listen to him. See, what the other part is about is he's just a coward. Because you can see he was reading something. Because they was coming after, and he was scared they were coming after him. Let those narrow ass get up in jail. They punk him so fast. Have his head between somebody's legs and a heartbeat. Because he's a coward. He's always been a coward. It's no way that I was there. How the hell did Wallace get hold of the Nation of Islam when he was a top man? How can he stand for the believers? How Wallace can take everything and take all the money and everything and lead the believers with nothing? How did he do that? He was a top man. He was a top man. Wallace was, even if Wallace wasn't officially out, he was still a top man because Wallace's position was the same thing as Ishmael. He was just minister of the temple, temple number 2. That's Wallace. That was Wallace's post when he was active. So no matter what, Farra-Con was still a top man. But he's a punk and a coward. Okay, let me read a couple things, bro. See, see, the whole day, I try to explain about energy deprivation. You understand it. See, this global warming thing is a scam. I try to give you an example. If you're a winter people and you don't know anything about spring, you never spring. Say winter lasts 1,000 years, and you're born that 1,000 years. You never heard spring. You don't know anything about spring. You think it's like you're born to plant that's cold all the time. You think that's where it is all the time, and you don't know that every spring. Winter lasts 1,000 years, then spring comes. Last 1,000, you don't know that. And all of a sudden, spring starts showing up. You say, "Well, things start getting warm. Things getting warm, man. What's happening?" Because that's destroying your whole reality. Snow is melting. Icebergs are melting. Your houses are melting. Everything's melting because everything's based on snow. You're based on cold. So if your money based on snow, your money's failing. Everything is failing. Now you have health problems. Because now you get sunburns and stuff. It's getting hot. See? Now you need something to keep trying. Now you got to spend a lot of energy trying to keep things cold. So now you bankrupt your economy because you spend every day trying to keep things cold. And you can't, but you don't realize that. So your economy is in jeopardy. You're trying to make something happen that can't happen. And so that's bad. But see, now if you got whole people here that's spring people that's in your winter, they're weak. They're under your control because they cold all the time, man. And you laugh at them, man. Why you weak, man? Look at you always shivering and stuff, man. You got clothes on, and and you can't do anything. So you asking us we got to help you. We got to do all stuff for you. You see what I'm saying? But then spring start coming, all of a sudden, man, you start getting energized, and they start having problems. But it's good for you. It's bad for them. But you don't know that, and they don't know it because they're saying, man, we can't have this global warming, man. It's going to mess up our whole thing because the whole society, whole reality is based on the way the world is the last 5,000 years under energy deprivation. Because the deserts became because there was less water. Why was less water? Because you had the polar caps. All the water's being frozen in the polar caps. There's trillions of tons of water under the polar caps. It's frozen because the earth cooled down because there was less energy. So therefore you start having, and plus less water. So that means the land started drying up and started producing deserts. It wasn't heat to produce the deserts. Right? And so the water levels dropped. When low water levels dropped, right, that means more land was exposed. Think about it. When the water levels drop, remember you got coastal lines, when the water levels drop, it means more land is exposed, right? Hey, look all this land, man, that you had before. So you start building that land. New York, Hawaii, all these different places. Islands start being exposed. So start building, because the water levels drop. Now this stuff is available. So you start building all this stuff. Because you're so happy, man. Look, I got all this land I can build stuff on. You see? So now and then all of a sudden the spring come in, and the water poles start melting, and water levels start rising, and your whole society's in jeopardy. And your city's in jeopardy, islands in jeopardy. See what I'm saying? Everything's in jeopardy. Well, that's bad. We got to stop global warming. They try to blame it on the cars and stuff. That's not it. Because the universe, they don't understand the universe. They don't understand the process. The universe expands and contracts. Now, as Christ says, when measure was in the heavens and earth, to come the other sudden. So Earth is approximately every 50 years, and I can explain, I can show it mathematically. Earth is warming up. Every 50 years, you get an energy burst. Momentous in heaven's Earth comes suddenly, because now the universe is contracting now. And it comes like in waves approximately every 50 years. And we're right on the edge of a wave right now. It says momentous in heaven. It means the Earth has to absorb it. Then Earth produces momentous in heaven and earth, and it comes all of a sudden. It means after the Earth is momentous in the heavens and the earth, pay attention, and it comes all of a sudden. That means it has to be absorbed by the earth first, and then you realize it. Did you pick that up? That means the energy out of earth, now the earth can produce more and stuff. And in other words, now you're going strong and more energized because now the earth producing more and producing more high quality food. And when the earth started doing that, that's what this says right here. Think about it. Behold, the days are coming, saith Lord, when the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the wheat trader of the grapes, him who sows seed, the mouth shall drip with sweet wine, all the hills shall flow with it. Do you know what that means? What the backstory is? Into capitalism. Capitalism is based on we don't have enough. So those who control what they have, they can force you to do what they want you to do to get it. That's why Eden Eden was given to Adam. So they have all this here, right? And so therefore, and all the deserts, it's less every place else. So people come, hey man, but they had to farm. They was coming when the plowman should overcome the reaper. In other words, they had to, because when the earth is less energy, now it doesn't produce as much. Remember, it's momentous heavy earth. So therefore, you got to plow and everything to force it to produce. And so they force it to produce. That means you got to do farm. You got to start plowing stuff, right? So you need somebody to do it. Let's bring them niggas over here. Let them do it. You understand? That's whole concept of energy deprivation. That's why capitalism, democracy, and Christianity, right? All three. That's the system that you would need in the state of affairs. But when that happens, capitalism has no value no more. Because the point is, there's so much you ain't got to apply anymore. There's food everywhere. So why you need to work for anybody? No, you don't need to work for anybody. There's food everywhere. You see? And so it'd be so much grapes and stuff, it'd be just flowing over. You understand, brother and sister? This system is just a system for this period, but for the winter, but the winter's over. Now spring is coming in. That's why capitalism and all that stuff is start failing now. We get home, they won't have any of that kind of stuff. There won't be no desert. Arabia will not be a desert when we get home. We're going to blow away the sand anyway. That's another story altogether, but it won't be a desert. You will not inherit a desert. And you won't be work for anybody. There won't be any employees. It's just modern day form of slavery. But they got you thinking this way. So what can I tell you? That's what it says right there. Oh, brothers and sisters. See, Farra-Con, remember, Farra-Con, he's two-dimensional. He follows the devil. Yeah. So he's not, he couldn't teach Elijah Muhammad's teaching he didn't want to because he don't understand it. He don't see it that way. He see it the way the devil says. That's why he's talking devil stuff. That's the level he's on. See? He's on his devil philosophy or stuff. See? That's the level he's on. The emotional level. He does play acting. He has little Savior's Day, and we're doing so-called Savior's Day, right? And he'd be talking, why did it need to be a war of Armageddon? Oh, y'all look so pretty today. Oh, I'm so glad y'all came out. Well, Armageddon, hey, look at that sister over there. She just smiling. You see, bullshit. That's where he talk. He probably tell me about subject Armageddon, and every other word, oh man, the audience, man, I'm so happy to be here. Because that's what it's all about. It's all bullshit. He never told you anything about Armageddon. And doing the so-called Savior Day back in 2020. He didn't even speak on COVID. He speak COVID 7 months later, in July. And then he told you about the war. No, he said War Armageddon took place 3 years ago, right? You see War Armageddon? And now he said, well, he told you about the war in the Middle East. No, he didn't. When October 7th came, they said, oh, well, that must be Elijah's birthday or something. Anyway. What I'm saying, if you on a two-dimensional level, motion level, you understand anything I say, so you're probably going already. Right? But see, the point is you're going to be held responsible for what you do, because only reason why you on the two-dimensional level, because you folks, you love this world's life, and that's where you point your energy at, because you don't want to give it up. So all your energy is using a two-dimensional way. You got to get it up. Start moving three-dimensional way. Then you start see. So that's up to you, because you can't fool me with your BS. Because the point is, once you start seeing three-dimensional, then you're gonna start thinking three-dimensional, and you start acting three-dimensional, and you're gonna be able to start reading Angel, which is a three-dimensional book. The unsealed book is three-dimensional, and the reason why they can't read it, because it's still two-dimensional. You can't make sense of it. Okay, let's go here. Golden calf.
And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf, and the dancing,
We're going to talk this golden calf, bro. I know you don't know what it means. As soon as you don't know what it is either. Neither do Farra-Con. They just explain what the golden calf is in detail. So we're going to talk about. So I'm going to cut this short, bro. Hopefully I can finish this up tomorrow. I wanted to do it today. So they attack me. I'd be fighting every day just to get these out. I had 2 hours of technical problems I had to get past.
And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf, and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands, and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made, and burned it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it.
See, you don't understand, but the golden calf is Sunnism. And that's the reaction that, right? Because Aaron had them worshiping Sunnism. And if you understand, you need this. I can't really explain this like I want to. But Elijah represents the fourth trumpet. Right? And so, or the fourth wind. It's also the fourth trumpet, but fourth wind. So this is at the point when the wind's blowing, that wind attack. See, when the four winds blow, that's when the nations come together, but it comes to see a great army. So why do they come to the army? Because they're under attack. You understand? So that's no story altogether. But the point is that the nation come together, right? At that point, all blacks come together because all blacks on the attack, right? And so, and the at this point, right? But I'd be very careful here because I don't get very confused. No, well, at this point, right? This is when they start getting their mind back, right? But they talking about this, the Levites here, right? And so Sunnism at this point is being crushed. It's golden calf. It's grounded. It's going to be crushed. When the four winds blow, in other words, I don't want to go too much detail here, but let me just cut to the chase and say it in a general way. When Iran's going to win this war, they're going to kick America and Britain. God got the Middle East. They're going to put false Israel under siege. You see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. See, this is so simple. They can't get this one right. We see Jerusalem surrounded. Who controls Jerusalem? False Israel. Its destruction is nigh. That means they're going to be destroyed. But they ain't telling you that way. It just says that's what it says. We see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. Its destruction is nigh. Its desolation is nigh. It means near. It's about to be destroyed. And that is what's going to make you realize that you're the seed of Abraham universally. Because most of the people don't see that. Because they've been told false Israel is. So that means once they have to see that, common vision, that's what bringing people together. Plus, they're under attack. See? And that means Farra-Con exposed. That comes together because now you see he was just a lying dog. Remember, that's just while the war is taking place. When this is one heaven, and you see how the stars work with them, right? That's the dragon. Right? So as soon as war, right, they're gonna take control of the Middle East. That means they have control of the Middle East. That's Arab land. When they defeat false Israel, they're gonna take it. They're told everybody to help. If you help false Israel, we're gonna take you down. They're gonna kick them out. They're gonna take control of the Middle East. That means the power of the Arabs are broken. We don't see, right? That's the golden calf. Their power is broken. They don't have control of the Middle East anymore. They still live. They don't have control of it. Iran does. See? So they're broken. And that's going to make this Farra-Con, he's cast down. The part he's being cast down is, right? Because, well, let me be careful here, right? The thing is that he is he's the one having with the Sunni stuff. So they're gonna cast him down. They can see all that was they're gonna see he can expose as the liar is. Well, let me okay, let me just go ahead and explain it because I'm gonna cut it short here. I'm trying to put it all together for you. Let's look at this. Look at the Middle East right now. Right now, it's in trouble. They're scared to death of false Israel. Iran's the most powerful country in the Middle East right now. They just gave false Israel a good whooping, and they said if when they go back to war again, which they will in a few more days. Like I said, it will be between now and within the next 30 days. They'll be back at it, probably much sooner, and it's going to be devastating. But they're going, and it says. And remember, South Side, they work with America. Anyway, when Iran takes over, that means they have control of the Middle East. That means the power of the Arabs will be broken. They don't have control of it anymore. They'll live, they won't have control of it. Iran will. False Israel will be surrounded. Right? Now, who's Iran helping? They're against all the other Arabs. Remember, there's a conflict between them and all the Sunnis, except, right, for Yemen and the Palestinians. So they're helping them. So when they do that, false Israel is surrounded, and they cut the airport off and everything. Remember, I said they won't be able to get out, and that's what it said right. They cut the airport off. They cut the seatbelt. They can't get out. Right now, they can't get out because the airport is closed. Everything else. So none of them will escape. And so when that happens, right, false Israel's power is broken, and the Palestinians now revenge, doing what it's done to you. They're going to take revenge on them. They can surround them. It's going to be horrible. Like I said, false Israel writing an obituary because what they've been doing is going to be happening to them in spades. Okay, now that's destruction is not, but it's not. That means it's not going to instantly. It's not because now they're surrounded. They're under siege. They're surrounded under siege. So they're about to be destroyed, but they're going to be. It says they're going to be cannibalism and everything else because there might be an escape. No food come in, nothing come in, nothing going out. And so they're going to be said the father can eat the son, son eat the father. It's going to be total count. And they're going to have drones flying over so everybody in the world see them in there. And then they finally destroy it, right? Now the powers are broken because they don't have control of the Middle East anymore. Iran does. Michael's angles. While Israel going down, Palestinians just, because all they was doing to them, they're going to do back to them. All they're doing to Gaza is going to be done back to them in spades. You understand? Okay, but false Israel goes down, right? And when it goes down, because that purpose of it is to make you think that they the true seed of Abraham. Because most of the people believe that because that's what the preachers tell them. But now all of a sudden they realize, oh, because this is going to be a world thing, everybody going to see it. And it's false Israel, because they say when false Christian, they got Christians believe that. False Israel round about, Jesus will come and save them. Nobody saved them, they down. Okay, then that everybody got a common vision now. We're true seed of Abraham. But the point is, remember, America doesn't want that to happen. Just got kicked out of the Middle East, because when they take over the Middle East, American Britain get kicked out. They run to Europe. But they're in trouble with Europe there because, right? Because remember, Iran has control of all the oil that Europe totally depends on, because they can't get Russia anymore because they're in conflict with Russia, right? So that's why I said chapter 18, their economies collapsed overnight. So now American Britain is the one that caused that problem. They broke up that pipeline and everything else. So now they run to Europe, but Europe ain't happy with them because now Europe they don't have no energy or anything. I mean, they're totally in economic collapse. And American Britain is the cause of it because they was getting oil from Russia, but now they stopped that. And so Russia said, okay, the only source for oil they have is not the Middle East anymore, Russia. So that's when they turn on America and says, okay, you give us, we with you. So now they turn on America. Now America's at war with Russia. That's Armageddon. They're at war with Russia, and the Europeans are inside of Russia because they need oil from Russia. They can get it from any place else. That's Armageddon. That's the Armageddon. So the European war. They had one heaven that triggered. And remember, that's triggering all this. That's what would be the trigger. They talking about. So now Farra-Con trying to get in on that. But remember this, all this happened. So what's happened also? False was exposed. So now we have a common vision. Remember, America didn't want that. So they kicked out. Right? They said, oh, if false news goes down, these people are going to realize they're going to rise up and doing us double as we did to them. They're going to attack us. Now, them, the Sunnis is over here going to attack us too. So they're dragging watch. They're going to attack us too. Because they know we're coming back to get that land back over there. So that's why I said flee. Because they're going to attack you, because now they know you're going to come together. You're about to come together. You got a common vision. Because now you realize you're the true seed of Abraham. And that Farra-Con was lying to you. He was talking this bullshit. And now the accused of our brethren is cast down. Because he don't teach the covenant. You see all this happening at the same time. Then he's cast down. All this happening. This is what you're going to see in the next, between now and December. All these things I just told you. You see, that one thing in the Middle East triggers it. That's what's holding on right now. Once that war resumes, that triggers all of this. I just told you. I showed you one step by step how the Arab power is broken, because now they control the Middle East. How the Europeans going to find economic collapse because they have no source of oil, so they have to unite with Russia. That means now America, now they turn against America. Then they got to attack us because now we got a common vision, and we started to unite. And as soon as come after, because they know we're going back, take that land back. So you see how it all comes together, brothers and sisters? All comes together. And that's why you got to come together, see the great army to defend yourself, because they're going to attack. Now, all the blacks going to come. That's when separation of the chaff and the wheat. All this comes together because the wheat are the demons like Farra-Con that's mixed in with us, but they're going to attack all blacks. Devils ain't going to try to figure out which is which. The total economic collapse here. Camelot is going to reign. So they all come together. But just like in the 60s, you're going to have two different perspectives. One wants separation, one wants integration. Demons want integration, actually, because they just want the devils to respect them. That starts a demon war, 5 months. But they kicked out. We separate them out from us. See? That's that separation. We come together, the chaff and wheat come together, the chaff separate from the wheat. All this is what you're going to see between now and December. It's coming you like a wave, wham, 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 like a heart attack. That's where we are right now, brothers and sisters. I've said it. Now what you got to say, Farra-Con? You understand? So I put it all together for you. I think I covered everything right there. It's all triggered what? By what's happening in the Middle East right now. And it would not be a nuclear war, because that's what mass problem. That's why he's in the background. Because they say they see him. The devil say they see him around all the nuclear sites and everything else. Because they will neutralize. They said when they go there, of course they neutralize their electrons and everything else. It will not be a nuclear war, because we're not going to have an irradiated planet. But America will be nuked. It's a consequence. And so they're going to attack us. It's going to be a 5 months demon war, right? You're going Slaves has to go to tribulation. Last time it's Suleiman, he comes, right, to get around the blowing of the winds, bring them together. That's all this. See how this fits together, brothers and sisters? That's how all this fits together. Now like all this BS they telling you, Pharaoh, that we're going to try to save America and everything else. That's not what Elijah taught. Okay, let me play the rest of these and then I'm going to close, brothers and sisters. So that's what's saying. It's going to be ground and powder. Sunnis will be not last. By the time we get home after we take our land back, we'll be Sunnism anymore. We're going to get rid of it. And it's going to rub it in the face of those who turn away from Elijah. This is the Farra-Con for Sunnism. When Elijah wouldn't even let them in his temples.
And Moses said unto Aaron, What did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, Let not the anger of my Lord wax hot, thou knowest the people, that they are set on mischief. For they said unto me, Make us gods, which shall go before us, for as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And I said unto them, Whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me, then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf.
All you got to do is read Exodus. That's if you're not in the emotional zone, right, realm, because it's clear who he is. And see, he's blaming the people for, he's probably the leader, right? It's their fault. See how wicked they are? They're set on mischief and wickedness, right? He blamed them for what he did. He's a coward. Get busted, it's their fault.
Now when Moses saw that the people were out of control, for Aaron had let them get out of control to the point of being an object of ridicule among their enemies, Moses then stood at the gate of the camp, and said, Whoever is for the Lord, come to me. And all the sons of Levi gathered together to him. And he said to them, This is what the Lord, the God of Israel says, Every man of you put his sword on his thigh, and go back and forth from gate to gate in the camp, and kill every man his brother, and every man his friend, and every man his neighbor. So the sons of Levi did as Moses instructed, and about 3,000 men of the people fell that day.
And see, you need to understand, the angel key for that, but all the demons. Remember, he went to Aaron's camp. He said those with the Lord. That means they wasn't with Aaron, they was just there. Why was he just there? Because it says the messenger of the covenant was suddenly come to his temple. temple. So they want to be where he's going to come to, but they wasn't with Farra-Con. They said, "Though with the Lord, come with me." So they wasn't with Farra-Con, and they separated. And then they went back and killed all the Aaron, all the Aaron people, including Aaron, because Aaron did not make it out of wilderness. That's where he died right there. It was like he said, "Kill all of them." So every man, you put a sword in his thigh, go back and forth to the gate of the camp, and kill every man. His brother. Well, Aaron was the leader. Do you have to say Aaron? Kill every man his brother, every man his friend, every man his neighbor. Kill them all. And Farra-Con is now Levi. His father's the devil. All thing is, remember, he made the NOI laughing stock, which he has. Let's go on. I guess I gotta read this. The Lord said to Moses, "Go thee down, for thy people which I brought down to the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quick. They have turned aside quick out of the way. Farra-Con turned them away. Right? They have turned aside quick out of the way. I command them. They have made them a golden calf and have worshipped it, and sacrificed thereto, and said, These are thy gods, O Israel." So-called originator, all that stuff, right? That's they believe in the mystery God. He turned them to that. "O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt." And the Lord said to Moses, "I have seen this people, behold, is a stiff-necked people, is Levites, is stiff-necked. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, may consume them, and I will make thee a great nation." Don't get rid of him. But he speaks the way he turned the message and mess from against the nation of Islam. Okay, I'm not gonna speak to this. Hopefully, I'll speak to it. If I can get a good day, but I have to work this whole thing slowly. I want to get to a couple of points here.
And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? Clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth for ever that it shall be for a time, times, and an half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished.
Again, referring to power, the Arabs, Sunnism be broken, Arabia, and this just happened during this between now and December. When Iran takes control, they win that battle. They will have control of the Middle East. Shia will have control of the Middle East. That means the power of the Arabs will be broken because Shia. Okay, I hope you understand that. Let me talk this man bounces. You know, you got falses in the scenario, little mouse. And you know, they outnumber like a 20-1. Like I think it's like 7 million so-called false Jews there, right? And it's like 100 million, maybe 200 million Arabs. Outnumber like 20-1. Yet they're on their knees before it falls. Oh, scared to death. Why? It's like, here you are, you're at home, got your relatives over, right? You got your mom, right? You got your grandma, you got your daughters, your sister, uncles. You got a family reunion. So you got maybe 100 people there, right? And a couple of guys bust in there, just two clowns bust in there with a knife. And they hold everybody up. And then they take all the women, right? And put them right there in the living room where everybody can see. And they beat them and rape them and everything else. And the men just sit around looking. Just sitting around looking. And just beating them and pissing on them and everything else. Make me shit, everything. And they just sitting around looking. And the guy, what y'all looking at? Oh, turn your head. That's what's like in the Middle East right now. Because, they're just killing, raping, beating, shooting people in the head, hundreds a day. And surrounded by all these Arabs, and that's their family, that's their people. And they ain't doing a damn thing. Only one doing something is the Shia. They ain't doing a damn thing. Maybe the Houthis, they supposed to be Arab. But most of them ain't doing anything. They supposed to be lions, and they outnumber like over 100 to 1. Ain't doing nothing. A little squeaky Israel, and they showing the world that that's fake Islam. They claim, I fear nothing but Allah. It's a bullshit. I fear no one but Allah. No, you fear false Israel over there, little mouse. Well, they got nuclear weapons. I couldn't fear nobody but Allah. I thought that's what you said. So why, if you fear them by Allah, then why are you letting them come in is beating them, raping, and killing your family? That's your people. They're just killing them, just throwing them away in your face. They're showing the whole world how incompetent you are. They're showing the whole world how weak you are. That you're just full of shit. That's what they're showing the whole world. That all that shit you talk about, we so great and we so powerful, you ain't shit. Because why would you let that happen? They expose you to the whole world. They also exposed America too. Because the thing is, that's why they want to stop American history, because they're doing exactly what America did. They said, well, hey, America, hey, Dad, why you getting mad at me? That's how you got powerful. Doing what we doing, you did it. In fact, you did it on a more massive scale for a long period of time. So what you get mad at me for? See, they exposing everybody. But you say, and that's a little pipsqueak rat, mouse. Squeak, squeak. You say they're going to stop us? We come take our land back? Hey? Little pipsqueak, man. And they're showing. And look at little Yemen. They poorest country in the world. And they whooping false Israel ass. That sure these are cowards. We don't fear nobody Allah. You're a goddamn lie. You're fake. Not even Muslim. You're not Muslim. You're the jinn. We can prove it, but I'm not gonna go there today, brothers and sisters. Fake Islam.
And in the 4th and 20th day of the first month.
It's too complicated for you, brothers and sisters. I don't know. I even went into
the kingdom.
Much complicated.
Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart.
Unpleasant clothes, brothers and sisters.
Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt, and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, How doth God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly, who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued, and chastened every morning. If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou castedst them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation, as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
Tell me how powerful America, Britain, God made God, how powerful. Look at all those things they was able to do is just get away with it. I explained the 500 years of grace, how that worked. And he said, oh, look how powerful. They get away with it. And then he says, he saw how they ended up, the consequence. He said it was terrible. He said it coming suddenly. So America's destruction comes suddenly. It says they cast down destruction, how they're brought into desolation in a moment. All these things will happen in the next few days, brothers and sisters. See, and I'm doing my best to get this information out to you, being blocked and everything else, because I ain't going to be lost. Because it's going to happen very fast, brothers and sisters. Very fast. Okay, brothers, I'm going to let this play, then I'm going to close. And then hopefully I get to the rest later on today or tomorrow.
How's we gonna make it? Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. It's your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holiday where you should be honoring Jesus. You are buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
And I heard other voice out of the heavens saying, Come you out, the people of me, out of her, in order that not you should share together to the sins of her, and out of the plagues of her in order that not you should receive, because we're glued together of her the sins until the heaven, and called to mind the God the unjust acts of her. Give you back to her as also she have back, and double you the double according to the works of her, in the cup to which she mingle you to her double, as many as she glorified herself and lived unreined in luxury, so much give you to her torment and mourning. Because in the heart of her she is saying that I am sitting queen, and widow not I am, and mourning not I should see, through this in one day will come the plagues of her, death and mourning and famine, and in fire she will be burned down, because strong Lord the God the having judged her. And they will weep and they will strike themselves upon her the kings of the earth the with her having committed fornication and having lived unreined in luxury, whenever they may be looking at the smoke of the firing of her.
She has not offered her slave nothing to go upon. While Israel was offered something to leave Egypt with, a few gold pieces. They was help to get out of Egypt. But we have been let loose like cattle, not even having any chance whatsoever to go away from our slave master to our own. And they would not carry us back to our people. Let us remember these things. Almighty God, Allah taught us that our fathers wanted to go back to their people when they was put off on the shores of North America. And the ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our parents here on, She has not offered her slave nothing to go upon. While Israel was offered something to leave Egypt with, a few gold pieces. They was help to get out of Egypt. But we have been let loose like cattle, not even having any chance whatsoever to go away from our slave master to our own. And they would not carry us back to our people. Let us remember these things. Almighty God, Allah taught us that our fathers wanted to go back to their people when they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, she has not offered her slave nothing to go upon. While Israel was offered something to leave Egypt with, a few gold pieces. They was help to get out of Egypt. But we have been let loose like cattle, not even having any chance whatsoever to go away from our slave master to our own. And they would not carry us She has not offered her slave nothing to go upon. While Israel was offered something to leave Egypt with, a few gold pieces. They was help to get out of Egypt. But we have been let loose like cattle, not even having any chance whatsoever to go away from our slave master to our own. And they would not carry us back to our people. Let us remember these things. Almighty God, Allah taught us that our fathers wanted to go back to their people when they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our parents here on, they stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return, with their hands stretched out towards that ship, and tied and chained themselves, bound together. Feet. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on the ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we're on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land, turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel? Acting so. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shores of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here? They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
As you may have realized, brothers and sisters, by now, they got control of my broadcast and started distorting this message. So apparently they didn't want this message what Elijah Muhammad had to say. They didn't want it clear. They just turned it around, twisted it. They got control of it. So I just canceled it there. Maybe I'll start it from that point tomorrow. I want to get the rest of this, so maybe I'll continue, start from this point tomorrow or later on today. But that wasn't me. They were distorting that, replaying it and everything else, confuse it. Because that right there exposed Farra-Con as a liar. Because I'm a fool for wanting to stay here. Because Farra-Con calling God a liar, said we ain't going nowhere. And God says, gave his word, who's going back home. Understand that, brothers and sisters? Assalamu alaikum.